If you're watching this, you've just completed our Change Strength Index. Or if you've been invited here by a colleague, see the link in the description below to access the free assessment. For years, we've been asked, as a leader with so many challenges, how can I focus more on strengths to be the best change champion? That is why we created the index, to generate a quick snapshot of your leadership system's capacity to successfully navigate change without eroding energy, trust, or performance. We created the short executive briefing to help you interpret what your results signal about your resilience under pressure, the strengths already present in your system, and where to lead from next. Hi, I'm Tanya Cruz-Teller, founder of Spaciousness Works, here with my partner and certified coach, Stephen Reed.
Hi, it's great to be here with you. In complex public sector environments, change is rarely optional. Mandates shift, funding moves, political expectations evolve, and leaders absorb the pressure. The question is not whether change is happening. The question is, does your leadership system currently have the capacity conditions to navigate it sustainably?
This assessment is not about your team's performance. Instead, it offers a diagnostic snapshot of how change is currently being experienced across your leadership system, shaped, of course, by context, workload, history, and culture. Most change assessments measure compliance. Ours measures capacity. And wherever your capacity is, we're here to help you leverage it. Stephen, what are the key areas of our assessment?
Here are the key areas. The assessment specifically looks at leadership resilience under pressure, whether your positive core is visible and activated, the sustainability of pace and workload, the degree of shared ownership, and whether your internal system assets are strong enough to navigate complexity. These are conditions. We look at them because conditions determine outcomes.
Being in the public sector, you are used to seeking data and interpreting meaning and action. So let me start the executive summary about your scores. Then we'll go into details. So if your scores in a domain are high, you have assets to amplify. The question then becomes, how do you protect and scale those strengths under pressure? If your scores were moderate, that typically indicates leverage points, areas where strain is present, but capacity exists, which is great. So this is often the most strategic place to intervene. Of course, if your scores were lower, that does not mean failure. It usually means cumulative strain has outpaced leadership system reinforcement, and reinforcement is possible. So we'll unpack that more in this video.
Your overall score is the cumulative result of all the domains, and it places you in one of 4 bands. High capacity, which is a strong foundation with constraints, capacity under strain, or stabilize before scaling. None of these are labels. They are descriptions of current system conditions. Now, take out your results and check your overall score. If you don't have your scores handy, no problem. It's easy to follow along with us here and then click on the link in the description below to do the free assessment.
The strategic question to ask yourself is, can we afford to lead the next 12 to 18 months under these current conditions? If your answer is no, we have some ideas for you, and it'll help guide your leadership next steps. If your answer is yes, we also have some leadership ideas to help you sustain your strengths. What we're going to do now is explain your results in each domain, one by one, so you can get a better understanding of the opportunities to build or sustain your strengths to champion change successfully. That's what we're here for.
The first domain is leadership resilience and coherence. This domain measures whether leaders stay grounded under pressure, recover quickly after setbacks, maintain alignment when priorities compete, and model the tone they want others to bring. This domain reflects alignment, modeling, and balance between empathy and accountability. When strong, it indicates leaders who are steady under pressure, leaders who model the culture they want to see. If there is room to strengthen here, it is often about alignment, not effort. If leaders are not visibly aligned in language and behavior, staff experience inconsistency, even when commitment is high. Alignment amplifies everything else. So, where can you increase alignment?
The second domain is strengths and positive core. This domain measures whether your organization can clearly name what's working, build change from strengths, not just deficits, recognize and amplify capability, and sustain belief in its positive core, which we'll get to a little later. So when this domain is strong, change builds momentum. Innovation is heightened and energy increases. When it's weak, even good initiatives feel really heavy.
Leading from the positive core does not ignore reality. In fact, just the opposite, and it ensures resilience is not accidental. If you don't know your positive core, begin by identifying the core values, beliefs, capabilities, and stories of excellence that can fuel your growth and act as your foundation for change. If you know your positive core, check to see how often you're referencing it, having your team build upon it and generate energy from it. Tanya, what about the third domain, wellness and sustainability?
All right, I love this domain. It examines the sustainability of your change pace. Is your workload realistic? Is fatigue noticed early? Are there reset practices? Is there space to adapt? In high-performing health systems, burnout is rarely dramatic. As you may know, it accumulates quietly beneath the surface of productivity, professionalism, and dedication. Yet because the pressure increases gradually, the deteriorating conditions are often normalized. Tolerance is often mistaken for resilience, and personal fatigue is often disguised as system fatigue. If this domain shows strain, strengthening it is protective, not indulgent. Your energy is infrastructure. Stephen, please walk us through the fourth domain, which is engagement and shared ownership.
No problem. This domain measures whether change feels done with people or done to people. It looks at psychological safety, respectful involvement, whether resistance is treated as a signal, and whether staff share ownership. Shared ownership reduces friction. So this domain reveals whether change is co-created or merely communicated. Strong scores here signal distributed leadership, shared responsibility, and cross-functional collaboration. That is ideal. If there is opportunity to grow capacity here, it is about inviting contribution earlier, not about persuading harder. Part of your fatigue may be that leaders are compensating for lack of ownership by carrying more, as a lot of leaders do. So while early co-creation is best, there's no time like the present. Find the spaces still available to co-create and slowly build the momentum towards shared ownership. Strengthening agreements and clarity often unlocks rapid improvement. Scan for opportunities to build shared agreements and follow through on them in groups and one-on-one spaces. Back to you, Tanya.
All right. So this final domain, systems, assets, and change navigation capacity, evaluates whether change builds muscle. Specifically, do you have strong internal connectors? Do you learn and apply learning quickly? Is cross-functional coordination enough? And is it strong? And can you maintain direction under complexity? This is not about navigation, and it's not about control. It's about strong system assets, which mean change strengthens the institution over time. Weak system assets mean every initiative starts from zero.
Check if your learning is embedded, then each initiative strengthens the next. If this is already strong, you are building institutional resilience. Keep investing here. Don't lose focus. It's a hard-earned strength. If not, even small reflective practices can dramatically increase adaptive capacity. 3 questions we use when time is short: what worked, what could be even better, and why. If reflection is absent, even initiatives feel heavier than the last. Learning reduces cumulative damage, and applied learning even more.
With our change strength index, the value is not in any single score. It is in the pattern. For example, strong resilience plus weak sustainability equals leadership overextension. You might have a strong positive core but low engagement, and that equals untapped discretionary energy. Or perhaps you see in your scores you have strong engagement and weak system assets. That means there's coordination friction. So patterns reveal your leverage point, and the leverage reduces your effort.
So what patterns can you see? What is your quickest, lightest leverage point? Tanya, what are we seeing in our work?
Across the public sector, we see extraordinary dedication. We also see leaders who rarely pause long enough to amplify what is working. Change becomes something to survive instead of something to build cumulative and collective strength. And yet your own assessment results likely reveal bright spots: alignment in one domain, trust in another, engagement in a third. Those are not small things. They are strategic assets. What if you could build upon them, multiply them even?
This thinking is how you can shift from managing change to championing change. Yes, there is a difference between managing change and leading from capacity. Managing focus on timelines, reporting, and compliance. Leading strengthens alignment, trust, and ownership inside delivery. When that leadership shift occurs, conflict becomes productive. Fatigue is acknowledged rather than denied. Ownership distributes, and leaders feel less isolated. This does not add work. It changes how work is held. So that's the opportunity. But what is at risk, Tanya?
If current conditions remain unchanged, leadership absorption continues. Engagement plateaus at compliance, and energy depletes incrementally. And of course, friction compounds. The erosion is gradual and expensive. On the other hand, strengthening capacity ensures your service to the public and your team's well-being together at the same time.
If your results surfaced leverage points, the next step is not a program. It's a confidential 30-minute leadership discussion. In that conversation, we will review your domain pattern, identify 1 or 2 leverage conditions, and assess whether strengthening them would materially improve your next 12 to 18 months. If there is no clear value, we will say so. If there is, we will outline a contained, practical approach designed specifically for public sector leadership teams.
So schedule the conversation now. A link is in the description. We look forward to thinking with you, and great job for caring for your team and public mandate by completing your Change Strength Index. Looking for opportunities and watching this till the end.